Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Psychopaths. We are trying to prevent anything bad happening from a girl who seems to have been kidnapped by her former classmate because he has a rather psychotic crush on her. Don't have much else to say at the moment, so let's just dive right in. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. Because such men desire control, they will not leave their territory. They are very likely to be within Haruto Sato's spatial pattern of his daily life.
In that case, the old-fashioned method of door-to-door house searches and Q&As will be the quickest method to find out where Haruto usually hangs out.
Such a prehistoric method would take too much time. We should activate all the drones within Sato Marine City and widen our search radius. What about hacking countermeasures? No problem. We'll form a surveillance net with real-time data sharing across all drones. This will apprehend the hacker before they can begin infiltrating our systems. That's what they call searching with a fine-tooth comb. It's as classical a method as eavesdropping, but an effective decision nonetheless. Classic, you say? Yes, there's a difference between using humans versus drones, but both methods convey the classic adage that a detective must be able to think on their feet. So, it means Inspector Ginoza is a detective just like us, huh?
Watch your mouth. Are you saying I'm the same as you enforcers?
Inspector Ginoza, please calm down. When thinking of an effective way to solve a case, there is no difference between inspectors and enforcers.
I am calm.
I beg to differ. You seem frustrated with me. If you do not get a hold of your emotions and calm down, I will be unable to trust your decision-making abilities.
Are you saying I'm less trustworthy than an enforcer?
You guys, this isn't the time to be arguing. We have to decide on our course of action at once. We're only losing more time. Ginoza has a problem with enforcers, in case you haven't noticed.
That's right, Gino. In the first place, Kugitachi was never even criticizing your search method. If that's the case, then everyone should follow my method.
No, I've concluded that both methods are equally effective. As such, I propose splitting up into two teams. Oh, what a good idea! Then Inspector Ginoza can command the drones, and Mr. Masaoka and the rest of us can go conduct the investigation.
Fine, we'll go with that. We have two vehicles without auto-navi anyway. Kugitachi, who do you intend to go with?
I have to choose Inquire.
I will go with the investigation team. I've concluded that my knowledge and ability will have a greater effect this way. Do as you like, but let me warn you, do not let yourself be influenced by the enforcer's way of doing things. Your hue will suffer for it.
I picked the best option according to my judgment. If you put it that way, are you implying that my judgment is mistaken? These two are not a good match.
Calm down, Miss Kugitachi. Inspector Ginoza is just concerned about you. No need to be so on edge.
On edge? I do not understand what you mean. I was only asking Inspector Ginoza if there was an error in my judgment.
I am not concerned. Check for yourself if there's any mistake in your judgment.
Very well. I understand that you have doubts since this is my first case. I will prove my judgment is sound by getting results.
Hey, she reminds me of something, like a robot.
They have no qualms about just saying stuff right in front of me. Inspector Ginoza is quite a serious person, but Miss Kugitachi is on a whole different level.
She sure is a strange one. She knows both criminology and psychology. So, rather than an inspector, she's more like a scientist. No, a droid made by a scientist.
See, seriously, they just don't care.
Droid, huh? I see. It strangely fits her.
Well, a droid is the same thing as a robot, and you just call me a robot. Droid. For some reason, I felt my chest tighten after hearing that word. Perhaps a sort of pain. Was I really lacking that much in humanity? According to them, apparently. Shame on you both. That's a rude thing to say to Miss Kugitachi. At least say it behind my back. No, it just means my actions give off such an impression. If it makes you uncomfortable, I'll do my best to change.
Oh no, it's not uncomfortable, it's just difficult.
Isn't that kind of the same thing?
Isn't it fine the way you are now? I mean, It's just your personality.
Aw, that's so sweet of you.
Personality? Yeah, people are all different. Your way of talking is a little hard to understand, but I can tell that you're doing your best to solve this case. I wondered. The moment he said that, it felt like that pain in my chest washed away. It was like I was experiencing emotions I had not even known existed.
In any case, let's get going. Miss Kara no Mori, once you manage to recover the destroyed data, please send it over immediately.
Okay, for Akane's sake, your big sis will do her best.
Thank you. Just do what you can. Well then, everyone in the investigation team, we're heading out. The car's autonavi is not functioning, so he'll drive.
Inspector Tsunomori, I leave it to you. Though I have a license, I have no memories of driving.
Understood.
In order to conduct the investigation, we drove to the residential area where Haruto and Shiori lived. Before long, we could see clusters of abandoned homes. We don't have much time to spare. What should we do, Pops? We can search Haruto Sato's place, or we can talk to his friends.
Do I get to make the decision? That's true. What does Miss Kokitachi think? I will inquire about friendships.
We headed to the public school Haruto Sato attended to question Haruto Sato's friends and classmates. Originally, to respect the fragile stress level of adolescence, school visits by the CID were always handled with caution. However, Shiro Matsukata's situation did not allow for such a cautious approach. We had to save her before her psychopath exceeded the point of no recovery. Given the circumstances, the school was extremely cooperative. Haruto's grades, behavior, and social circle were provided to us at once. Kara no Mori has already found all this. It can't be helped. It's information coming from the same public government database. Which leaves us with...
What? Nothing? Nothing new?
We got results. Those kids opened their mouths the moment they knew we were from the Public Safety Bureau. The information they discovered from Haruto Sato's friends revealed more about his recent behavior. According to them, Haruto has been strange recently. He was feeling down after Shiori dumped him. He said he should have at least had sex with her. Then he laughed and looked all creepy. I'm sorry, that just sounds funny. He laughed and looked all creepy.
It seems the places they frequented were the mall, park, and library.
So, there's a high possibility they're in one of those places. Inspector Tsunomori, you look annoyed. Did something bad happen when you questioned his friends?
I wouldn't say bad. It's just that they're supposed to be his friends, but the way they talked about him was so... I guess they're not really friends. Frenemies?
That's just what kids are like. It seems she was upset with the attitudes of Haruto Sato's friends during the investigation. Is it bad because they were cooperative with the investigation? If they were obstructive, their hue would have been cause for concern. Should I check it out?
Oh no, it's fine. It wasn't obstruction or anything like that. They just weren't very friendly about their friend.
The way you separate the issues impresses me. Anyway, we don't have time to waste. We have to quickly decide on our destination. It was as Enforcer Kogami said, we needed to find them as soon as possible, and other than their possible locations, searching the suspect's house was also an option. Where should we go?
To... number 1, head to the mall.
We headed to the mall. Considering Haruto's appearance, behavior, and aptitude, there was a high chance he would go to an entertainment facility. But the mall was devoid of people, and Haruto was nowhere to be found.
I just checked the parking garage, but the rental car they were in wasn't there.
It was easy to check because there were only a few vehicles there, but this place seems to have aged quite a bit. The city was only lively for a short period after it was built. I didn't expect you to know that. Did you look it up? Oh no, rather than looking it up, it's like I knew it already. It felt like it just came out of my mouth naturally, like some distant memory. Why had I known such a specific detail about such a desolate city?
It probably has something to do with your history. Research it, lady, maybe you can get some memories back.
Just then, the loud ringing of an emergency call drowned out my thoughts.
Yes, this is Shepard 2. Eh? The library? Okay, we'll head over there immediately. Everyone, let's go.
I'm sorry, I made an error in judgment. Don't sweat it. Come on, we need to hurry.
Well, it was all mostly guesswork anyway. You couldn't have known for sure.
Remember how much we used to study here? It was fun, wasn't it? Say something now, Shiori.
Oh, he's really looking crazy now.
Why are you making such a face? Do you hate me? We were together for so long. I professed my love to you, and you told me you liked me too.
Stay away! Don't come near me!
I just want to be next to you, just like before, the two of us here. We did nothing but study, here. Then it got shut down. That was the same time you left to Tokyo.
It's not my fault. I'm not in the wrong. I didn't do anything.
Yeah, right? We didn't do anything at all. So then, why did you let me hold your hand?
Stay away!
No matter how much noise you make, nobody will hear you. This is an abandoned building after all.
Stop it!
It's pointless. There's only the two of us here.
Anybody, please!
We could do anything here behind these closed doors, Shiori. Anything. Did you know that? Without any closing hours or people here, we can do anything we want.
No, don't!
No, you don't. You're the one who threw me to the curb.
No! Oh, crap. Did it really happen? Or is anything going to intervene? Are we too late to save her?
By the time we arrived, the door had already been broken into. We confirmed both cars parked in front of the building were Inspector Ginoza's car and Haruto's rental.
Let's go!
Yeah. Inspector Sonomori held the Dominator, her face tense. Following suit, I hurried behind Enforcer Kogami and Masaoka, and suddenly...
No!
I hear a scream from above. Nodding in agreement, the enforcers ran. I followed closely behind. Just then, I heard a gunshot. Beyond the broken door, the screaming was still audible. A gut-wrenching sound, like someone had died. Was I too late? The moment I rushed in, I knew my prediction had been right. I was too late. I failed to reach them in time. The first thing I experienced was the smell of blood. Next, the obliterated upper half of Haruto. And finally, the infinite pieces of human flesh scattered everywhere. That sounds pretty gruesome. Miss Droid, you're late. A shame I got here before you, Ko. Behind the bantering enforcer, Kogari, lied the screaming Shiori. She was staring at the remaining half of the suspect. With my Dominator in hand, I walked over to her. Enforcer Kogari, have you checked her psychopaths? Oh, crap, I forgot. You may be my senior, but you're still an enforcer, so please be mindful of the protocol. I'll conduct the check. This is my job after all.
Crime coefficient over 210. Target for enforcement action. Safety released. I thought 300 was it. I guess it's not.
The Dominator's inorganic voice informed me that Shiori Matsukata's return to society was hopeless.
What? Can't she just have therapy?
It was something I knew ever since I heard her scream shrill throughout the building. But even then, I was still disappointed. I had hoped that maybe I could save them.
Shiori! No! Don't come near me!
Calm down. Take it easy. We're here to help you. As she backed away, Inspector Sonomori and Enforcer Tsurugi rushed to her side and tried to calm her down, but Shiori only grew more confused as she struggled. Hey, Miss Kukatachi, wait!
Miss Kukatachi, what are you doing? She's the victim!
That's right, you're going overboard. Her hue color is midnight blue. Crime coefficient is over 200. She is already a latent criminal. If the Dominator says so, there's no choice but to shoot her.
But...
Also, she is very confused, and in order to prevent her from harming herself or anyone else, it is necessary to calm her down. We have to enforce her before it gets any worse. Oh, God. Wait a minute. Miss Kukatachi, there's no need for you to shoot.
Don't shoot! Oh, we are not getting off to a good start here.
So I shot her. Shiori Matsukata, I shot her. Since I couldn't save her, this is all I could do for her now. Enforcer Tsurugi glared at me. What I did should have been the appropriate action, the right thing to do. But the look he gave me brought a heavy ache within my chest.
Well, when they get to that point, there's nothing you can do. Then again, you fired without any hesitation, which makes you one hell of a detective in my book, doll.
Really? So they don't have any kind of facilities to rehabilitate people who've been through traumatic situations? Man, I really need to watch the anime again.
No, I only feel the magnitude of my own incompetence now. If I had taken the most suitable course of action, both of them would have never turned into latent criminals. Don't be conceited. This ended regrettably, but it should have been a good learning experience for you regardless. We aren't gods. Don't think you can save everyone. Do your best while understanding this isn't over yet. There are too many disconcerting points about this case.
We still don't know anything about the accomplice. I wonder how things will turn out.
After the emergency evacuation vehicle left the building, the crime lab drones began moving in to conduct their forensics analysis of the crime scene. I felt a heavy anxiousness weighing down on my shoulders. Could my hue have been affected? Just to be safe, I initialized the hue checker on my wrist comm. It had not changed by much, but I felt some mental fatigue. Maybe I should take a mental supplement just in case.
Yep, take the supplement.
I pulled a mental care supplement tablet from my pocket and chewed it. The mild minty taste seemed to clear up my mood a little. As the forensic analysis continued, I scanned the area and noticed Enforcer Tsurugi furrowing his brow.
I can't deal with this.
Is that because Haruto Sato became a latent criminal?
No, well, there's that too, but I think things could have ended better.
What are you saying?
Haruto really liked Shiori, and when they were together, even Shiori probably didn't dislike him.
Enforcer Tsurugi's voice trembled when he spoke. I could not understand. Why did he empathize with this case to such an extent? Of course, even I had regrets about the result, but I had a feeling we were going about it very differently.
But they were torn apart by Sybil's judgment, and then ended up like this. How can Sybil decide such things, like love and hate? It's absurd.
It's not absurd. Data from the past decades have proven low romantic compatibility between parties of different social classes.
Really?
But that's...
There are couples who stay together even when separated by distance. If distance causes estrangement, then the relationship is doomed to fail. Splitting up would be best.
So what? Are you saying my feelings for her are of no concern?
Please calm down. All I did was present my opinion of the relationship between Haruto Sato and Shiori Matsukata. I cannot understand what that has to do with your feelings.
Sorry. This case was just too similar to my past. I didn't mean to get so heated.
Your past? May I hear about it?
It's nothing great. A simple story. I had also liked a woman, but we were separated by Sybil, and by the time I realized it, I couldn't find her.
Enforcer Tsurugi feigned a laugh, and the sight of his face as he struggled with his past made me feel something in my chest.
I believed she thought of me the way I thought of her.
Misery. Our hearts the same, if so I hear. Myself to abandon, only to love you. Is that a haiku?
That song, it's...
A song of love from the tale of Genji.
Knowing that you also feel the anguish of love, my love for you overflows no matter what may happen to me. It's from that song, right?
You know about it. Are you familiar with the classics?
No, the woman I just spoke of like those old songs.
Is it me? Maybe it's me and you don't realize it. I mean, after all, I have amnesia. There could be all kinds of weird stuff going on at the moment. Maybe I had plastic surgery.
I see. Many old love songs spoke of anguish. But what does it mean to be precious to someone? Anguish existed as the exact opposite of happiness. Why would someone seek love if it could cause such pain? Or was that what love meant? I did not know. It eluded me. I lacked the emotion needed to desire someone to such an agonizing extent. It appears to be an emotion I cannot grasp.
I don't think there's a need to understand. You remind me of her, the way you think about everything in an overly logical way. In the first place, love and hate are not things that a machine can create.
They're things that can only rise up from the depths of the soul.
Hearing those words, I
have to choose what I feel? One again, it's possible.
Perhaps. He used such an unscientific approach for his reasoning, but I was strangely convinced. It may have been because I also witnessed Haruto Sato's mad fixation unravel right before me. There still exist some things in humans that the cymatic scan is unable to completely decode, and one of those things is love. Is that what you were trying to say?
It's not quite that, but, well, it's close enough. In short, one day, even you may like someone so much that you won't be able to help yourself.
Suddenly, I remembered something someone had told me.
I'll keep on telling you that until you understand it. It has nothing to do with reason.
I could only vaguely recall the person's face and voice, but I could feel my heart beating faster. Was there someone who had such a passionate affection for me?
What's wrong, Miss Kugatachi? Did all my talk about love make you fall for me?
Maybe. No, that's not it. In the first place, I do not understand romantic emotions. As such, it's not possible that I could fall for you.
It's just a simple joke. Just a joke.
What did I say to that person? Had they understood it then? That feeling of cherishing the anguish of love? I could not remember. Apparently my psychopath went up.
How cruel. Just when Haruto finally reunited with Shiori, he would have been happy just being able to be with her. I'll have to make sure they don't interfere next time.
And how are you going to do that? The abduction case of Shiori Matsukata had concluded. Haruto Sato had been enforced, yet many things remained unclear, like who his accomplice was. Someone with large-scale hacking abilities had helped him perpetuate this crime. However, the accomplice left no trail.
That case was quite similar to the specimen case.
What were the details of that incident?
There was such a case a while back. It was quite the nightmare.
Kogami, don't be saying such foolish things. How is bizarre murder and kidnapping by a high schooler the same? An incident occurred, even though the criminal had no means to execute it, just like this case. In this one, the suspect had an accomplice, someone with an erratic mind, and...
Then there'll be a continuation to the current case as well?
The possibility is high. I'll leave the speculations at that. We still have to carry on our duties and other investigations. It's going to get busy.
In order to investigate the accomplice, it was decided that we would stay longer in Sato Marine City. During that period, 2 incidents occurred. One was the theft of a medical cyborg. The other was to assist the citywide mental health examination. The theft had strangely occurred in the National Hospital where we were staying. Also, it happened roughly around the same time as the kidnapping. Was that all really a distraction? The stolen cyborg was one of the new models capable of syncing with the patient both physically and mentally, while measuring, logging, and reproducing their senses. Like other cyborg's technology, it could be used to house a human brain, and as an immortal body. In this way, users' thoughts, emotions, and other brain activity were logged. But all the logs had vanished, along with the cyborg. And what had happened during that robbery only left more questions. Here's the footage, but brace yourselves. Everyone watched as the cyborg opened its eyes and rose up by its own free will.
This is like a modern-day Frankenstein. Doesn't it look like some man-made humanoid creature rising up by its own will? Don't say stupid things, Kogami. An AI capable of autonomous movements does not exist, much less a cyborg with free will? That's impossible.
But it's actually moving. Rather than a theft, it looks more like an escape.
Medical cyberization allows a patient's brain neurology to be monitored via online interconnectivity, so controlling it from the outside would be possible. You're saying a hacker infiltrated the cyborg from outside and controlled it to escape? It is the possibility with the least contradictions. Analysis Karanomori, when the theft occurred, was there any record of suspicious activity from outside? Let me see. Oh, there was. Something clearly suspicious indeed.
Are you sure, Karanomori?
Yeah, the hospital servers experienced a huge influx of traffic during the time of the crime.
as if a large amount of data was sent, clearly the work of a hacker. It may be the countryside, but to be able to hack a hospital under the Ministry of Welfare means the perpetrator must be quite skilled. It does feel like the follow-through was lacking, but the original point of access was properly erased, as expected. Tracking down the culprit will be troublesome.
Continue tracking them down regardless.
Okay, leave it to me.
This is quite the high-tech cyborg. It's likely something used for scientific research, so whoever put in the order for it must be a highly regarded researcher.
The thing is, apparently it was donated.
It had been donated by the 6th Tower, the general medical facility of Tokyo's Ministry of Welfare, but details on the order, as well as who issued it, were still unknown.
Huh. Smells fishy.
Tsurugi, does something bother you about that?
Nah, it's just that a friend of mine used to work there. At 6th Tower. Was your friend the medical practitioner? Yeah, I never knew how she did it, but she was talented. I wonder if she was suited to be a doctor, though. Like you, she couldn't understand people's emotions. And just like me.
But this heap of metal was quite the pretty cyborg.
There is an error in that description. Pretty is usually used to describe women. However, this cyborg bears the appearance of a young man.
I know that, Inspector. But take a look. See? Sex doesn't really matter for angels.
The cyborg shown on the holo monitor was indeed what would likely be considered beautiful by definition. It was as pure and innocent as Enforcer Masaoka had said, befitting of an angel. But moreover, for some reason, I could not help thinking that I saw the cyborg before, somewhere. I might know the cyborg.
What? Where?
I'm sorry, but I don't know. Something just makes me feel like I've seen it somewhere before.
I have amnesia, remember? Could you have seen it before you lost your memories?
It is possible, but there's nothing that stands out. It might just be my imagination. Sorry for bringing up something so vague and adding to the confusion.
Indeed.
But if you really know the cyborg and you can remember any clues, report it to me immediately. Yes.
But man, isn't that such a cliche pickup line to say you think you've met someone before? Is Miss Droid really into that kind of stuff?
From an objective point of view, I do think it is beautiful. But Enforcer Kagari, I do not have a fetish for dolls.
Oh, no need to be so serious.
But a cute one like this, I want it real bad. I want to care for it like a little brother.
What was their purpose for stealing this?
Well, finding that out is also our job. Considering its value, we proceeded with resale as the motive, but the city has no black market, and there were no signs suggesting it had been smuggled beyond borders. But it was all speculation, since I was not leading the case. I was in charge of the other case, the citywide mental health exam, due to my knowledge of psychology.
And there we will break the video. Oh, that's so sad that poor girl was killed. I really don't remember there being no options after the crime coefficient got that high. But I guess I must not be remembering things correctly. Like I said, I really need to go watch the anime again. And I never investigated the manga. I think there is one. Well, anyway, I hope to see you in my next video, or in some of my other ones. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.